sit at the front of your mat with the no face up, that means I would prefer not to be assisted. You are welcome to switch it back to yes. And you can move it back and forth at any time between, any time in the practice. You might like to have some assisting if it's offered, and then there may be a pose you want to work on alone. So feel free to switch that around. Do you want to hand them out? Thanks, Philomena. Also, a few things that are going on around here right now is we're in our season that we call Access Love. Access is the name of our beginning level of training in yoga. 200 hours is a beginning level, ours is 250 hours. And it goes over the course of 8 months. You meet once a month, and there's lots of things you do in between. People take the program who want to teach yoga. They also take the program to just learn more about their practice or just learn more about themselves. People have completed the program and said, I'm more confident at work. I've asked for a raise, or my boss has said to me, how are you leading these meetings so much more effectively? So maybe that's a reason that you may be interested. But the Access Love campaign is an opportunity to register in a drawing for $1,000 off of the program. So somebody is going to win that extra $1,000. Feel free to register. The last other thing that we're bringing forward to make sure that you are aware of is if you have a package, you have an opportunity to be an ambassador and bring a person to yoga. An individual can use that ambassador pass one time, and it's a chance to just bring them to a free class. So you have an unlimited amount of those you can use. It isn't a physical pass. On the poster outside on the wall near the desk, there's a QR code you can use. And if you can't figure any of that out, just bring them and we'll help you at the desk. All right, Philomena's got all the work around. We have a busy weekend this weekend. Our Empower level of training has a training weekend this week. So if you took class yesterday, you saw them sitting there and doing feedback for each other. I know those that took class yesterday are like, what's going on? These people are sitting around with clipboards watching the class happen. They're watching the teacher teach. Anyway, let's get started. Come into Child's Pose. We've got 90 minutes together to take a journey into power. And how we'll do that is primarily through our breath. So settle into Child's Pose, hips back toward your heels. Make the pose feel good for you. So if your neck is uncomfortable, fold your arms and rest your forehead on your forearms. That's one of the ways we take the journey into power, is by deep listening into our own body and then responding to what it needs. So first things first, let's create the kind of breath that we'll need for this transformation. Start by taking a deep breath in and filling up your lungs and discovering the full capacity of your lungs right now. And then exhale and let all of the air come out of your body. You could do that a couple of times to just expand your lungs and feel what full feels like and feel what empty feels like. We're just shaping our breath. Then in a Vinyasa style of yoga, the style we practice, this Baptiste Vinyasa Yoga, we use an Ujjayi breath. If you've created it a million times or never before, right now has never happened, and let's create it right now together. When you fill up your lungs, draw the air in through your nose. And then when you exhale, let the air come out through your mouth, rushing and loud, so you feel and hear your breath like when you're fogging up a mirror. Do that a couple of times. A full breath in through your nose, maybe an open mouth, and a next time you do that, be aware of how that feels in the back of your throat. Your throat closes a little bit and the air draws across it. Now on the next breath, breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And on the inhale and the exhale, create that sound and the sensation in the back of your throat. I hear it. Listen for the breath coming louder in the space of the room where you're in. You bring your breath a little bit louder. I'm hearing it. Now we'll add one more component. This time, inhale until your lungs are completely full, and then just hold that, a pause. And then control it. Exhale, steadily empty your breath. And when it's gone, hold that. Inhale, draw the air in and fill up, hold it. Exhale, slow, steady, let all the air out and hold it. Breathe in, take it in slow. You have about 4 counts to fill up and hold it. And slowly 4 counts to let all the air out and hold that. Keep on going. Breathe in and fill. Hold it. Breathe out. Empty. Hold that. 2 more times. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. 1 more. Breathe in. Feel how your body gets a little lighter. And breathe out, how it gets a little more settled, heavy toward the floor. On your next inhale, use your breath to lift your body up into downward facing dog. It's where your body takes the shape of an upside down letter V. Now keep your attention on this breathing that we're creating. Match your movements to your breath right now. You can bend and straighten your knees, tippy toe, raise a leg in the air, whatever you want to do. Match it to your breath. So it's an inhale where you fill up, your body gets lighter, you hold it, and an exhale where your body settles a little bit more and you hold it. While you're doing what you do and you're breathing, let your head be heavy, your neck long, and let your gaze settle on one point at the back of your mat while your body's adapting to this pose. Let your gaze settle, and when we do that, it's called your drishti. What there is to do is have a soft gaze and then just see whatever you see. Every now and then, you're going to be building up energy, moving it, and sometimes that turns into like a beating heart or shortness of breath. Anytime that happens, let's try this together. You can do this. Take a deep breath in, open up your mouth, and sigh. How does that feel now that you did it? Try it again. Deep breath in, fill up, build, gather, and exhale, soften, and let go. You can do that anytime in class. 1 more time, breathe in. Now this time, sigh or closed mouth, breathe out, and then move up to the front of your mat. Just walk up there. Once you get there, lift up halfway. So your body's just parallel to the floor. And exhale, hang down. Keep your breath flowing. Now, while your breath is flowing, build the foundation. Move your feet out a little wider than what they are. They can even be the whole way wide as your mat if that happens. Keep your breath flowing. Organize your feet so they're parallel to the sides of your mat. Like for many of you, that means heels wider. Keep breathing. Then for all of you, pick up your toes, wiggle your toes, stretch them up toward the ceiling, and then settle them down onto the ground. Keep on breathing. While you're breathing, put your attention on just your big toe, the knuckle part of it behind the actual toe. With your own thumbs, you can press the knuckle of your big toe, the mound, down into the ground. Keep your breath flowing and just press the mound of your big toe down into the mat. Really get it connected to the floor. Keep on breathing. While you're pressing the mound of your big toe down, can you also feel the arch lift a little bit? See if you can notice that. Take 1 more breath in here. On the exhale, press your feet down into the ground and then just come rolling up to standing all the way up till you're tall. Reach your arms overhead, lift up, stretch, fill up, and then bring your hands to the center of your chest and pause. Settle your gaze on one still point in the room. Eyes open, just seeing what you see. And then we start by creating an intention for the practice. It's a mantra that we can keep in our mind, and it can be like a guiding star for how we set each pose. Sometimes a mantra sounds like I am, and then you fill in the blank. I am present, willing, I'm space, I'm a clearing. You pick one for you and use it to guide the practice. Then 3 times we chant Om together, a deep, low feeling in the belly that rises up through the chest to the crown of the head. Feel free to make a lot of noise. Let it sound funny. Take a deep breath in. Blow all the air out and empty. Inhale, fill up. Inhale, reach up. Fold to the floor and empty. Inhale, lift halfway. High push-up position to low push-up position and empty. Then inhale, lift, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll breathe together. Take a full breath in, hold it, and a full breath out, steady. And hold that. Inhale, smooth and steady. Exhale completely. One more time. Breathe in. Take a full breath out. And at the end, move up to the front of your mat. Once you get there, inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. Stand. Reach for the ceiling. Stretch up. Fold to the floor. Inhale, lift halfway. Low plank. Fully empty your breath and just wait there. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Feel how the foundation is here by pressing your hands into the floor and your feet in the floor while you're breathing. If there's an opportunity to make the foundation longer or wider, then take that opportunity. Here's the 3rd breath. Empty it completely, then move up to your hands by stepping or jumping. Lift up halfway and fold. Press your feet into the mat. Stand up, lift up, reach up. Fold to the floor with control. Inhale, lift halfway. Chaturanga. Exhale, empty. Inhale, go up. Exhale, move back. 3 breaths. While you're taking these breaths, just spread your fingers out wide. Take up a lot of space with your hands. 2 more. Let your fingertips connect to the mat. Here's the last one. Fingers squeezing. Bend your knees. Maybe look forward. Jump to your hands. Halfway lift and fold. Again, stand up, fill up, reach up, then hold. Fold to the floor with a steady empty and hold. Inhale, lift halfway. Chaturanga. Empty your breath. Hold. Inhale, come up. Exhale, move back. All we're really doing is a breathing exercise. If it makes you short of breath, heart beating a lot, feeling a little bit dizzy, take the sigh and clear the space. 1 more breath in. Breath out, look forward, move up to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway and fold down. Last sun salutation A. Stand up, lift as high as you can and maybe take a back bend. Fold to the floor and empty completely till it's gone. Inhale, lift halfway. Chaturanga, take your time, empty your breath, emptiness. Inhale, come up. Exhale, go back. Feel how it is in your body right now. What are you noticing? You got it. Keep the breath moving. Got a little quiet, didn't it? Let's work together here. Inhale, tippy toe. Exhale, bend your knees to hover down at ankle height. Listen. Inhale, lift your hips up high. Exhale, press your heels down. You got it. Work together. Inhale, tippy toe. Exhale, fold your toes, bend your knees. Inhale, lift your hips up high. Exhale, press your heels. 1 more time like that. Inhale, lift up high. Exhale, bend your knees, hover. Inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, press your heels. 1 more breath in here. Exhale, bend your knees, move to the front of your mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Now let's use what we know. Chair pose. Sit. Reach your arms. Fold to the floor. Inhale, lift halfway. Move to the low plank, empty. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward and lunge. Inhale, lift up, look up, stretch. Exhale, hands down, strong belly, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Left side step and lunge. Inhale, lift and look. Hands to the floor, chaturanga, and empty. Upward facing dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. We're creating smooth breath, deep breath, steady breath, and our movements should match that. Take another breath in, breath out, get ready to move, come to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway, fold down. Chair pose, sit deep, reach your elbows, wrists, and fingers, fold to the floor and empty. Halfway lift, chaturanga, take your time, empty your breath. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, step your right foot forward. Then inhale, lift up, look up, reach up. Hand, steady, hands to the floor, steady, empty. Inhale, come up, and exhale, go back. Left side step. From your back foot up to your fingertips, reach. Hands to the floor, steady, empty the breath, steady, empty. Inhale, come up, and exhale, go back. We're shaping our breath. You're not meant to be comfortable right now. Neil's like, I am not, thank you. Nice breath. One more. Exhale, bend your knees, move to your hands. Lift halfway, get long and hold it. Fold to the floor and empty. Chair pose, sit. Inhale, reach. Stretch your elbows, your fingers. Fold to the floor and empty. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, right foot forward. Inhale, lift up, look up, reach. Hands to the floor, chaturanga. Empty your breath, hold it. Inhale, come up. Exhale, go back. Left foot step, lunge. Inhale from your back foot to your fingers, reach. Now steady, empty, chaturanga. Go to the low plank, empty. Inhale, come up. And exhale, go back. We're playing with the space between the inhale and the exhale. Why? Because it has this end result in time of synchronizing your body, your circulatory system, your nervous system, your respiratory system. In the end, it provides health and well-being and peace of mind. In this pose, together, take a full breath in, empty your breath completely. Raise your right leg into the air behind you. Bend your knee, heel to your hip. Now here you go. Flip it over. You might come down on your bum and flip it over, or just take your leg all the way over. Steady breathing the whole time. Whatever your breath is, that's fine. Now shape it. Listen to yourself breathing. A steady inhale with a pause and a steady exhale with a pause. One more. Side plank. Put your right hand on the mat. Face the long left side of the mat and stack your body up. Keep your breath flowing. Activate your feet. Just peel your baby toes back toward your face. Keep going like that, Dave. You got it. And then gather in the pit of your belly. Long, strong, lean. One more inhale. High plank to low plank as you exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Next inhale, left leg in the air. Pause here. Get the sense of your hands melting into the ground while your foot is reaching up and pressing into the wall behind you, like your whole body's in a tilted handstand. Then bend your knee and flip it over. 2 feet to the floor, steady breath. Let your feet sink down into the mat and your hand sink down into the mat. And then from those 3 points sinking as you breathe, you rise up. Get a little lighter. Take another breath. Then side plank, left hand on the mat, face the long right side of the mat. Steady movement, steady breath. Even in the space between the poses, you stay engaged. Now draw the pit of your belly, the lowest part, the part in the front of your pelvis, into your body and up toward your chin until you feel your lower back get a little longer. You got it. Bottom knee could be down, top leg could be up. Stay with it. Let's do one more. Inhale, stay slow on the exhale. High plank to low. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward to crescent lunge. Right away, drishti, set your arms while you reach your arms overhead, or set your gaze while you reach your arms overhead. Keep your breath flowing. And then with your gaze set, maybe you start to feel a little more calm or balanced. Then start working with the pose the way you feel it in your body. So from your feet, front foot pointed forward, back foot, just stack your heel on top of your toes by lunging deeper. Then from your back foot, all the way up your back leg, up your body, up to your fingertips, you reach. Stretch up to the ceiling and stretch back. Stay with it. Keep breathing. Inhale, stretch up, and then exhale, stretch back. Stay with there. One more breath in, reach. Hands to prayer and twist. Take a deep breath in and stretch your body long, and exhale, turn it, twist. Stay with this. Inhale, long. Exhale, twist. Take your time. Listen. Inhale, long. Exhale, twist. One more. Deep breath in, stretch long. Exhale, wring it out. Crescent lunge. Warrior two. Let your breath carry you. Use your exhale to just land in your feet. To let your breath settle. To let your heart rate settle. Once you feel like you've used your breath and you've settled all the way down into your feet, all the way down from the core to the extremity, then start to draw in and up from your feet, up your legs, into your core. Extended side angle. Steady breathing here. You have many variations you can take. You can wrap your top arm behind your back. Whichever variation you're taking, put some attention on your back foot. As you breathe, press the back edge of your back foot into the mat. See if by pressing it, you can feel the arch of your back foot lifting. That's it, Matt. Really press the back edge. Let your arch lift. One more breath in. That's it. One more breath out. Hands to the floor. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Fill up. Downward facing dog. Take a breath here in this pose. Open up your mouth. Stick your tongue out and sigh. How does that make your whole insides feel? How does it make it settle? Try it again. Breath in. Exhale. One more breath. When you finish this exhale, step your left foot forward, crescent lunge, and keep your breath flowing. Keep it flowing while you stand up, while you set your gaze, while you reach your arms overhead. That might be different to keep your breath flowing while you make that transition. See how your practice feels right now. Bend your front knee a little more and really activate your back leg. Then reach up a little more square. Stretch up out of your hips, up to your fingertips. You got it. Now deepen your lunge. Get a little more stretch as you go up and go back. One more time. Inhale and exhale, hands to prayer and twist. Steady breathing. You can press your right elbow into your right thigh and activate your back leg until you can feel in your body from your back heel up the inseam of your leg, through your body, up your spine to the crown of your head, your whole body stretching long. Inhale, make it long. Exhale and twist. Two more. Inhale, make it long. Exhale and twist. We have one more. Inhale, body long. Exhale, empty. Crescent lunge. Good job, Neil. Warrior two. I heard that breath. Makes it a little easier to move when the breath is carrying you. Deep, deep lunge. Point your front knee in the same direction as your front toes. Press the back edge of your back foot into the mat. And then really lift up the pit of your belly. You got it. Keep lifting up the pit of your belly. Then from your heart out to your fingertips, stretch wide, tilt for extended side angle. Steady breathing. Keep your full breath flowing. And then see what you see as possible in your body while your breath is flowing. Maybe you can wrap your arm around behind your back, and once it gets there, feel how it is to breathe here. Whatever you've chosen now, we're looking for the pressure from the back foot into the mat, all the way up your body to the crown of your head. Stay right here. Take one more breath in. Empty on the exhale. Hands to the floor, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. In this down dog, take a breath in, all the air out, and move up to your hands. At the front, halfway lift, forward fold, chair twist to the right. Sit back, bring your hands to prayer, and twist, and keep your breath flowing. Some of you will take a few more moves and a little more time to build your twist. Others, you're just right there, and all works. You can have your elbow outside of your right knee, between your two knees, or a forearm across your two knees might work really nice for you. You might like it like this, Matt. Yeah, hand on your hip. Yep. And then wherever you are, when you inhale, stretch the sides of your body long. And when you exhale, just twist. Look to the right. Inhale, body long. Exhale and twist. There you go. One more time. Inhale, body long. Exhale, empty. Chair pose. Forward fold. Hook your big toes and just stretch your chest down toward your toes. This could be a really nice place if you've been really working with your breath. Maybe it's even making you a little bit dizzy. This could be a great place to just take a sigh. Feel how the pose feels in your body, and if there's some part of it that's just straining too much, you can put your hands right on the block in front of you. If it feels like it's straining too much, make accommodations and changes. Customize the practice for you. We're looking for that you do feel stretch from your heels all the way up the back of your legs. But we're also looking for that you could just relax the back of your torso, that the weight of your head as you breathe would just keep drawing it down longer. This is a chance still to make full breaths and feel how just your lungs expanding actually expands your whole body. Heels, press them down deep into the mat. Stay with the pose as you breathe and just shift your hips a little more forward to your toes. Keep your breath flowing. One more breath here. Empty it. Chair twist. Sit back. We'll twist the opposite way now. So if you twisted to the right the last time, now you twist to the left. In any twisting pose, what we want to have happen is that both sides of the pelvis move back and feel like they get anchored. And then from there, that the sides of the body just get really long. To keep the sides long, we're going to need the pit of the belly into the body. Otherwise, we just end up in a sway. And then we can start wringing out. Let's do that together. Inhale, body long. Exhale, twist. 2 more times. Inhale, body long, tail to crown, and twist. Here's our last one, long. Now wring it out and empty. Chair pose. Forward fold. Good work. Do you hear that breath? Stand on your palms now. Stand on your palms. Gorilla pose, or hands on a tall block in front of you if it pulls on your lower back too much to stand on your palms. This is an amazing opportunity in a pose like this to feel how it is right now. You might even presence, if you recall your intention. If not, it's a great chance to make a new intention from right here. Maybe you weren't even sure about that at the beginning of class, this intention business. But right now, an intention could be, I'm committed to sticking with it and doing the work. That could be an intention. Build your breathing. Even though it's a little softer here, fold it over. Instead of just switching it off and going into everyday breathing, stay with your Ujjayi breathing and feel how your breath just does this little micro opening as your lungs inflate. It opens the back of your ribs. And then as your lungs deflate, that softens, but there's still space. Anytime in a pose, you can use the tool of taking a sigh and using the sigh, just let go a little bit of any of the tension or the holding on, to see if you can access a new amount of ease and space. Take one more breath, however you'll have it. And then we'll go to crow pose, and there are many variations. So the baseline crow pose is hands down, handstand hands, knees on the outside of your armpits and tilting forward. It's a lot of forearm balancing. You may take it seated the way you see Kelly doing it, where her arms are pressing out on her knees and her knees into her arms. You could be taking a goddess squat that looks like this. You could be lying on your back as well, taking the variation Kelly's taking. So pick what fits for you. And nice, Adam. And then we'll all work together. Take a breath in and a breath out. Steady. 2 more of them. Breath in, hold it. Steady breath out. It's hard to be steady on this one. Last one. On the exhale, take the chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. You're noticing spots in the practice right now where you're working on your breathing and being aware of it that you haven't been aware of it before. How do you notice that changes your practice? Take another breath here. Empty your breath, get ready to move, and then come up to the front of your mat. At the front, lift up halfway and fold down. Then we'll just come rolling up to standing, take the arms overhead, and right side eagle pose. So you can wrap your right arm under the left, squat, wrap your right leg over your left. This variation can be taken lying on the back as well. If your arms don't fully twist, because they don't always, you might just be hugging your shoulders. What's happening here is you just cross your arms and hug your shoulders. You're getting all kinds of stretch across your upper back. Now you notice the room got quiet. If you're listening, there's not so much breath. That's okay. Just bring the breath now. Smooth and steady. How does that feel now that you've brought breath like that? One more. Step out, arms overhead. Left side, left arm under. Squat, left leg over. Keep your eyes on the drishti point, that one place where you have a soft gaze. Bring your body into the depth of the pose that's available for you. And breathe. We're just taking a breathing exercise here. And in taking it, making these funny shapes with our body, we expand our capacity. Nice. Let's do one more here. A lot of steady, deep breathing. Step out. We'll do the right side again. Right arm under, right leg over. Use the breath to transition from one side to the other. Eventually, the practice becomes this one long thread of breath with peaks and valleys, but still all continuous, connected. Different from these separate things, a pose, a pose, a pose. It's one long expression with peaks and valleys. Step out and take the second set, second side. So you would just endeavor to keep your drishti the whole time when you switch from one pose to the next, especially in the standing balancing sequence, because the drishti is pretty much on the same spot the whole time. And then also that as your body moves from pose and in between pose to pose, that you keep your breath steady. So with that in mind, that you're going to keep your drishti and keep your breath steady, step out, stretch your arms overhead, and hug your right knee into your chest. Just do that. Keep on breathing. Keep your eyes on one point. Then we'll start adding some stuff. You can keep your hand on your knee and put the other one on your hip. You could stay here or hold onto your foot and extend your knee so your foot pushes forward, but keep on breathing. Just feel it, discover it in your own body. And then once you get into the shape, what's also available is you keep your eyes, you keep on breathing. You can challenge it, open your leg to the right, reach to the left, and maybe move your gaze to the left. Stay steady in your breath. Stay steady in the pit of your belly. Then bring your gaze forward again, hands to your knee, hug it. Keep your breath flowing, open up to the airplane pose. So arms open wide. Maybe your back toes stay rested on the ground. Perhaps they're lifting high in the air. That's it. Eyes on one spot. That's where you'll get your balance. Wherever you are, bring a little more expression. So more chest lift, more arms up, but keep breathing. More back leg up. Straighten it if you can. One more breath. Now press your hands together at the center of your chest. Just feel what that feels like. Press it. You might get more steady. Half moon. Put your left fingertips on the block or floor under your left shoulder. Stay with it. You can do this. Right arm in the air. Keep your breath flowing. Then draw the pit of your belly into your body and up to your chin. That's it. Eyes stay on one spot. See if your foot will lift a little bit higher. Look up to the ceiling maybe. One more breath. Forward fold and hang. That was so amazing to see you guys all holding your balance, working with it, breathing. Bring yourself all the way back up to standing and set your drishti. Get your breath flowing and hug your left knee into your chest. So pick your spot and put your eyes on it. Keep your eyes on the spot, soft. So it's not staring, it's soft. It's just gathering your attention. And then see how it is in your body. Is it available to hold your foot and extend your knee? If it is, take that. You could use a strap around your foot if that works. Keep your breath flowing. Yep, keep it flowing. Then maybe through your breath, you could soften your chest and shoulders a little bit. You could fortify the pit of your belly and be a little taller. Open your leg to the left. Look and reach to the right. Keep your breath flowing. Let your shoulders relax. Let your standing foot press into the ground, the big toe into the ground, so that your arch just lifts you up. It's light. Stay with it. Discover it. You're going to need to keep breathing. Bring your leg forward. Hug your knee into your chest. Open up to airplane pose. Yes, it's just a practice. We're just using the tools to see what we could discover today. Upper body up, leg up. Keep your breath flowing. Press your palms together at the center of your chest. Just press them, diligently press them and breathe. Keep them pressing, breathe. Half moon, right hand to the ground or the block, left arm in the air. Steady breathing here. Steady breath. Now see if you can discover enough resourcefulness, enough resources in your body to lift your lifted leg higher, to feel what it feels like lifted higher. With it lifted higher, can you still breathe? One more. Forward fold and hang. Sway from side to side. Maybe swish your hips from side to side. Come all the way up to standing. Set your drishti. Reach your arms overhead. Take your right arm behind you. Just drop it back behind you so your shoulder's rolling out and the inside of your arm is facing out. Then bend your right knee and hold your ankle from the inside. So now check yourself out. Is the whole inner side of your arm still facing out? For some, that grip doesn't really work. You could hold the outside of your ankle. You could also be at a wall, putting your left fingertips on the wall. Get the up and down, and then start to kick. Keep your breath flowing. Every time you want to, breathe out. You could press out. Every time you inhale, you could gather in. Each breath, explore the next unfolding of the pose. All the way out to your toes and to your fingertips. Stay with it and reach. Stay here for 5 more breaths. You got it. You can do this. 4 more breaths. Kick. 3 more breaths. That's it, Colin. Why am I calling you that? Connor. Kick up to the ceiling. 1 more breath. And step out. Good. Put your feet on the floor and your eyes on that spot and be right here for the experience you created. How does it feel in your body right now? Some of you did some big moves in that pose. Let your system settle. Let's do the other side. Let's start by reaching the arms overhead. Left arm behind you, palm facing out. Bend your left knee. Hold your ankle from the inside. Now double check. Is your shoulder still moving back and your inside arm facing out? Unless you're holding the outside ankle. Knees together. Get your breathing. Use your breathing to push into the pose. Now, if you discover your front arm is kind of relaxed, you have more available to you. Spread your fingertips open, reach with your fingers, and kick back with your foot. Equal and opposite, reaching and kicking. Stay with the pose. You have 5 more breaths. Feel how your shoulder feels. I'm going to spin this. Feel the difference? Keep on breathing. You have 3 more. Now let your shoulder go back. You have it. Reach. 2 more. Last one. Step out. Feet on the floor. Feel the difference? Yeah. Nice. Eyes on your spot. Notice how when your feet on the floor, your eyes are on that spot, your breath settles, your heart rate settles. Let's do a second one. Arms overhead. Take your right arm behind you and bend your knee and take your ankle from the inside. You want the feeling of your arm moving back. Knees together and kick. Keep your breath flowing and kick. Feel how your shoulder is. Roll your shoulder back. Feel it still like this. Move it back. Steady breathing. Steady breathing. Feel your shoulders rolling forward. Spin. And now it's rolling back. You got it. One more breath. And then step out. We have one more side to go. Last side. Second set, second side. Left hand back. Hold your ankle from the inside. Your body's ready for this. Steady breathing. You might even lift your 5 toes in the air. Where could you let go? Soften in the pose. Where do you need to bring more energy to the pose? Go to the edge, whatever the edge is, where you're just not sure if I could hold it like this all the time, all the way to the edge. 3 more breaths. Kick and reach. 2 more. Last one. Step out. At the front of your mat, we'll take tree pose. Left foot on the ground, sole of your right foot to your left inner thigh or shin, or even on the floor with your heel on your ankle. And then press your palms together. Keep your gaze on the one spot and let your breath move. Smooth and steady. Deep, controlled breath. A breath that's just as strong at the end of the inhale or exhale as it was at the beginning. If you'd like, you can interlace your fingers and press your palms forward and reach your arms up and overhead. Now you breathe. While your foot presses down, you lift up. 3 more breaths. Foot down, the rest of you up. 1 more. And switch sides. Put your right foot on the ground. Left side. Keep your gaze. Keep your breath and set up the other side. It takes something to keep your breath moving and keep your drishti on one point. You're building your capacity for attention, to be aware, in attention. You're building the capacity to regulate your nervous system. Interlace your fingers, press your palms forward, and reach your arms overhead. Standing big toe down into the mat. From that, lift up. So you root down to rise up. Your big toe pressing, you lift up. 1 more breath. Step out of it, come to the front of your mat. Once you're there at the front, inhale and sweep your arms overhead. Fold to the floor as you exhale. Inhale, lift halfway. Chaturanga on the exhale until it's empty. Inhale, come upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, triangle pose. Keep your breath flowing. So put your right foot on the floor inside of your right hand. You'll want a long foundation, a big space between your 2 feet. It brings freedom to the pose. Keep your breath flowing. Then anchor the knuckle of your front foot's big toe down into the mat. Keep pressing that down. Even as you open the base up, keep pressing that knuckle down. And press the outer edge of your back foot down into the mat. So front foot's big toe knuckle, back foot's back edge, pressing down. And then from your arches through your inseams, lift up. You got it. Feet down, arches to the inseams, lift up. One more breath here. Come on up to standing. Face the long left side of your mat. Keep breathing. Set a new drishti. Feet parallel to the short sides of your mat. Hands to your hips. Lift your heart up high and forward fold all the way down. Keep your feet parallel to the short sides. Then tippy toe your fingertips way in front of you. Rest them on the ground or press them into the ground. So there's a lot of action there. And then hang your hips back toward your heels so that what you create is a point-to-point stretch, a tension from your fingers on the ground to your hips high in the air. Those 2 points opposite of each other. Now, when you can feel your hands and your fingertips pressing, and then you can feel your hips opposite lifting, trace in your mind from your fingertips all the way up to your hips through your body, every point in between your fingertips and your hips. Now breathe into all those spaces. Breathe and expand and make space. Exhale and soften and leave behind openness. Couple more breaths. Create that there's new space in your body. Maybe this last one with a sigh. Then come on up to standing. Turn to face the front of your mat. Feet should have width. So not standing on like a tightrope. Some width and some length. Face the front of your mat for the standing single leg forward fold. It should already feel like your feet are like out there. You're going to work with them. You can lift your 10 toes in the air and feel the 4 corners of your feet press down. The knuckle of your big toe press down. Once you have all that, you could take your hands and bind them behind you and lift your chest, then forward fold. All the way down. You're going to feel this in the back muscles of your thigh, of your front leg. You might need to soften your front knee. Bring this foot over here, but keep that one where it is. Yes. Now face the front. Yeah. You're going to feel this in the back of this leg right here. You feel it? Good. Really anchor the knuckle of your front foot's big toe. See if with a sigh there's room to fold a little further. The next pose is twisting triangle. So bring your body to a halfway lift and keep your legs like they are. Left fingertips, they can rest on the block or floor under your left shoulder. Your right hand, I like to put mine on my hip. Others, you'll reach them up to the ceiling. You'll turn toward the right side. So toward your front leg, not away from it. And then make length and space from your hip pressing back and your chest forward. You might find your back heel comes off the ground. That's all fine. Hip back, chest forward. You got it. Here we go. Inhale, body long. Exhale, twist. Reach up. Stay with that. Inhale, body long. Exhale, twist. One more time. Long. Now twist, empty. Hands to the floor. Chaturanga, the low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward for triangle pose. Keep your breath flowing. Pick a point for your drishti. Just see what you see when you look there. Set up your feet, the pit of your belly, so your foundation, and feel what you feel. So right into this ankle, settle. Your thoracic spine is a part of your back body that we could put the attention on it and consider it just the space between your shoulder blades. When you inhale, let that spot in your upper back just be more tense, more aware of it. And then when you exhale, soften it and sink it into your chest. Yes, David, just like that. Inhale, maybe you don't need to tense it to notice it, but then exhale, sink the back thoracic body into your chest. That's it, Kelly. One more breath here. Open up your chest by sinking the back of your body Come on up to standing. Turn to face the long right side of your mat, feet parallel to the short sides of your mat. Bring your hands around behind and interlace them. If already it feels like your shoulders get stuck forward to keep your hands held, then use a strap and hold the strap so you can open up your chest as much as possible. Then body up high, lift, and forward fold. Once you get folded down, let your bound hands just spill. You want to allow that to happen. Nothing to force, to do, to make happen. Just allow. Using an exhale from time to time can just let your hands fall overhead. You can even take your strap a little wider, Dave. Yeah, give yourself a little more room there. And then and your hands will come there. That's perfect. Feel that differently. How's it feel in your body? Corners of your front chest area, maybe your higher ribs right there up near your armpits. When you let your hands hang and you breathe, can you feel some new space there? One more breath. Then on the exhale, just press your feet down and come up to standing. Turn to face the front of the mat, standing single leg forward fold, maybe hands on your hips or still in that similar kind of bind behind you. We want to be careful that we don't have a really short stance and all we have going on is a bowing at the waist. We want some space, so we're really hinging at the hips. Go ahead and fold. See what you find. Go a little longer, Nakia. Yes. Good. You get the stretch in the back of the front leg's hamstring. So press down into your front foot's big toe and soften your knee, just a micro bend. You got it. Bring it right into the hamstrings. That's perfect, Matt. And just take your foot over here. You got it. Yes. Fold over. Yes. You feel that in your hamstrings? Good. Now just stay right there and breathe. Little softness to your front knee, just a micro bend. All of the splits. You gather and lift the pit of your belly. See if you can rise up just a little taller. For everybody, one more breath in, one more breath out. Then move through your vinyasa to the downward facing dog. Oh, we need the twisting triangle. Thanks, Nicole. Right hand down. Just get so excited. Twisting triangle. Right hand to the block or floor, left arm in the air, and open up. We'll get 3 breaths here. Body long on the inhale. On the exhale, melt your middle back. Body long on the inhale and melt, relax. Hands to the floor, chaturanga. Manhandling Nakia. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. You guys are really bringing the breath today. It's so much fun to work with. Come to your high plank position. High plank, stay right here and breathe. Press your hands down into the ground, and while they press, can you feel the pit of your belly lifting? So the hips are up high, like shoulder height. You can keep your eyes on the one spot and keep on breathing. Stay right here and breathe. Little more pit of the belly. Stay here for 5 breaths. 4 breaths. 3 breaths. That's good, Dinara. And down to the mat. We will take locust pose. It's like the airplane, but on the floor. Press all of your toenails into the mat. So you can point your toes and press all of your toenails into the mat until you can feel as many as you have. If you have 10, all 10 of them pressing down. Keep them pressing down. And then let your whole body get long and lift your chest up, arms out like you're flying. Keep your toenails on the floor. Yes, that's it. While your toenails are still on the floor, you keep lifting the pit of your belly. So if you feel like your abdominals are bearing down on the mat, what will it take to draw them in? Lift them up. One more breath. Come on down. It's something else. You want to do another set? This time, take your hands behind and either hold a strap or interlace your hands. 10 toenails on the ground. Press your toenails into the mat and then lift up. While your toenails press down, tailbone toward your heels, hands toward your heels. But the front of the body, the sides, long. One more breath. Come on down. Okay, now this one we're going to do 2 sets of. It's floor bow. You either bend both of your knees and hold both of your ankles, or bend your right knee and hold only your right ankle, either with your hand or with your strap lassoed around it. If you're doing one side, the left arm can be forward while you kick the right leg up and back. Good. Then just discover the pose. However you've chosen to do it today, just discover the pose. What does that mean to discover it? Well, start by breathing and putting your eyes on a drishti point, and then just feeling what it feels like, seeing what you can notice about it. Pick one part of your body and just notice what's happening there. All right, come on down. Did you discover something? Okay, second set, other side. So if you're doing one side at a time, left hand, hold your left ankle. Right arm wherever. Or two arms holding, and then kick up. So Neil's got his front arm reaching. Sue's got her front arm pressing, and both are good ways. You got it. Kick back into your hands. If you're doing both sides at a time, hug your knees a little closer. Good. Active kicking foot. Nice. Kick up and back. Come on out of it. Feet side to side. Just let it feel good in your body. Then hands to the floor at your bottom rib. Straight legs. Toenails into the mat. Inhale, come to the upward facing dog. Just use your inhale to just lift you up. Exhale, move to downward facing dog. Stretch back. Yes, a sigh probably would feel good here. Maybe if you didn't get a chance to take one, give that a try for yourself. And then notice what's new here. We'll take camel pose, one set. Bring your knees to the ground. Hip width distance, not super wide. Turn your toes under. Then bring your hands either like they're sliding into back pockets and pressing down, or you can reach them up to the ceiling and get from your knees all the way up the body to your pinky fingers, a lifting feeling. You can just keep on lifting and looking up. Find a spot for your gaze up there on the ceiling. And then move your gaze back one row of those beams that you can see and keep breathing. Feel how it is in the pit of your belly. Is it still engaged in lifting? Feel how it is in your ribs. Is it still lifting or are you sinking? Lift up and go back a little further. Stay right here. Take another breath. Another exhale. Then reach again with your inhale and come up out of it as you exhale. Hands on the floor, stretch to downward facing dog. Reach back. And feel how it is in your body now. Maybe take a sigh here. And then come onto the mat, sitting down at the front of your mat. You might jump there or crawl there. Sitting down. And we'll add this in. Sit up tall as you can. You can bend your knees a little or a lot. And then reach your arms forward and just relax your shoulders. You'll want to let your seat sit down, like melt down, while the middle of you just lifts up and it's long. Then breathe in, and as you exhale, blow the air out and pull your belly back. Your heels can push, your hands can push. Breathe in, and as you blow out, pull your belly back. Relax your shoulders. Breathe in. You're probably at a critical point here. More, pull your belly back. More, pull your belly back, Jen. More, pull your belly back. That's it, Connor. Nicole, more pit of your belly. Roll over the top back of your pelvis by pulling your belly back. More of it, and relax your body onto the mat. So good. Keep going. You got it. All the way down. I'm watching you. Keep going. You're not skipping it. Bridge pose. Bend your knees. Like, how did I end up here? Bend your knees. You're doing a great job. Feet on the floor. Bridge pose is next. So press your feet down and lift your bum up. So your body from the side, it kind of looks like a sliding board from your knees down your torso to your chin. Once you get the shape created, we can start working with that. For a lot of you, your heels could be a little wider, not your toes, just your heels. So everybody can just try that. Good. Now that you've done it, just press the four corners of your feet down into the mat and see what happens. Just while you breathe, press the four corners of your feet down into the mat and see what happens. What do you notice in your body? Pick one spot, press your feet. Maybe even pick your arches. That's a weird spot. Or your hips. Press your feet. See what happens. And then tuck your chin and come down out of the pose. All the way back to the mat. You can move your knees from side to side. We're going to do another one. This is called bridge pose. Let's do another one. Press your feet down. Come on up. The foundation is the place to start. Once you have your breath and drishti, then your foundation is this place to start. So press all four corners of your feet down into the ground. particularly the knuckle of your big toe. You might even lift your 10 toes off the ground and just imagine you're dragging your heels back toward your bum. See what that does. One more breath and come on down. Knees side to side. Okay, now we're going on to something new, or you're going to keep on working with the bridge pose. So get it set up. We'll start with the bridge for everybody. Everyone up into the bridge. We've been doing the bridge. Come up into the bridge. Then the next step from the bridge is to put your hands on the floor, set wide and deep under your shoulders. And for some, you'll stay on the bridge and just put pressure in your hands, and that'll be something new. Others, you'll push and stand onto the top of your head and your hands. Still others, you'll work towards straight arms. For everybody with any variation, you just let your upper back relax. Sometimes that's easiest to find by taking the size. Whichever variation you're in, it's still the same feet. 4 corners, pressing down, 2 feet lined up. Presence your intention. I am willing might have been your intention. What if I am willing right now? Come on down. Now we have, how many did we just do? 3. We have 3 more to go. 3 more of something. So here we go. Get ready. Press down, rise up, all the way into the bridge of the wheel, whatever you're doing. Get on up there. 3 breaths in and out. 2 more. Breathe in. Steady exhale. Last one, and come back down. Okay, 2 more to go. Get ready. Here we go. Press down, rise up. Press down, rise up. All the way up, and you breathe. All the way up, and you breathe. 3 breaths. Maybe concentrate on your exhale. Angie, heels wider. Yes. 1 more. Come on down. Knees side to side. We have 1 more to go. Okay, so this is the last one. It's taking you an hour to warm up for this. What do you have available to you right now? And then discover what else there could be. Get ready, set it up. Bridge pose or wheel. If you have access to doing the wheel, then you take it. Press down, rise up. 5 breaths. Bring the intention forward, especially if you're struggling. A tool you have is to take a sigh and see what's on the other side of it. When you get complete, come all the way down onto your back, and the pose is called Supta Baddha Konasana. So you lie on your back with the soles of your feet touching and your knees dropping out. Feet touching, knees wide. So soles touch, drop your knees out. Yeah. Soles of your feet touch, drop your knees out. You can rest your hands wherever they're just drawn to, on the sides, on your belly, whatever works. Eyes open or eyes closed, but just feel how it is in your body right now. Notice how it is in your heart rate, your heartbeat, your breath. What does your even state of mind seem like to you? Next, hug your knees into your chest. You can keep hugging your knees or hug the back of your thighs and let your feet point up to the ceiling, or hold the outer edges of your feet and pull your knees back to your shoulders. A million variations. The pose is called dead bug pose. And then you could add to it some rocking from side to side. All right, legs straight up in the air now. Straight up in the air. And you can work with your head on the ground if you would like to. And you're just reaching. You could also curl up and press like you're pressing away the wall that you can see through your legs. Now take a quick peek at your feet. If your toes are turning out, what'll it take to have them point straight behind your head? Take a breath in, and when you exhale, blow out and push that wall in front of you. Try that 5 times. Blow out and push. 4 times. It's also possible to do this with your feet on the ground. 3 times, 2 times, 1 time. Relax on the mat. Next one, we're doing some scissor movements with the legs. So they go back up in the air. Your head can stay on the floor, and you can just move your legs. The degree to which you lower your leg has to just do with how it is in your body today. If you lower it and all of a sudden your back arches and your belly starts popping up and the muscles start popping out, that's too low. You could work with bent knees. We want to keep the whole of the pit of your belly on the ground. So take a breath in, and when you exhale, switch. And when you exhale, switch. Keep on going. Your work is to keep your body from rocking and keep the pit of your belly sinking. Switch 5 times, 4 times, 3 times, 2, and 1. Hug your knees into your chest. Then shins parallel to the floor. Fingertips behind your ears and curl up. Bring your right elbow to your left knee. You can straighten your opposite leg or not, and then we're going to switch. You don't have to straighten the opposite leg. It's an option, and you go back and forth. The work for us here could be just lying on your back and moving your legs. It could be curled up, moving just your elbows. It could be moving elbows and legs. Do it 5 more times, 4 more times. Keep going. 3, 2, and 1. Then stretch your whole body out long. Just stretch it out long. Hug your knees into your chest and rock head to tail a few times, just back and forth. Feel how it feels on your spine to just rock back and forth. Come all the way up to seated from your rocking. Get ready for boat pose. Boat pose can happen a million different ways. It could be with your feet on the ground, holding your shins, just working on sitting up tall. It could be holding onto the backs of your thighs, heels on the ground, heels in the air, heels straight up. It's up to you. It could also be then letting go and lifting your chest up high. Pick your boat pose, whatever it's going to be. All the different variations. Now hold it here and breathe. You'll need your eyes on one spot. And you'll need to keep your steady, smooth breath flowing, smooth exhales. We'll take 3 more. Smooth exhales. That's it. Charlie, lift your chest. Sue, chest up. 2 more. Ellie, chest up, eyes on one spot. Last one. Hug your knees and rock. All the way through them to downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, we'll build pigeon pose. So the way you'll create your pigeon pose is to bring your right knee forward to the floor near your right wrist. Your right foot can pop a little bit over to the left or come so much up that it's up to your left wrist and square to the front of your mat. Then walk your left leg back. You might feel a lot of stretching on the outside of your right hip. You may stay upright, working to lift the pit of your belly and create a sensation of drawing your thigh bones back in toward your pelvis. You might fold down. Keep your breath flowing, whichever variation you've chosen. It can be amazing to just tuck a block under your right hip. Most of us don't have that hip on the ground. You got it, Matt. Walk your back leg back a little further. Yep, keep going there. Take this block and just bring your hip down to it. Yeah, and then fold down. Bring your head toward the ground. Do you feel that out here? Yeah, that's what you wanted to feel. Perfect. So there could be a lot of sensation on the outside of your right hip. Let that be okay. We don't want any sensation in your right knee. If you do feel sensation in your right knee, then raise your hand and I'll help you rearrange the pose. Okay, then otherwise, eyes on one point with a soft gaze. Closed eyes do work too. And steady breath. Just put your attention on your breathing. Maybe pick a part of your body and notice how it is impacted by your breathing. In this pose, take a full breath until your lungs are so full. Hold that and exhale. Then switch to the other side. Even here, you can keep your gaze on one point. The movement's pretty efficient, and just go to the other side. The whole while that you switch from side to side, keep your breath steady. Smooth, deep. Jen, look at your knee. Both Jens. Remember what we were talking about earlier? Yes. Even a little bit more for you. So, nope. There. Yeah, and you sit over here with it. That's it. You got it. Now, if I really had a lot of stretch in the back of my left hip, lower back to hip right now, and my instruction that I heard was to breathe, and I got that, and it was to breathe and just notice one area of your body and how it's impacted by breathing, I'd probably put my attention there, that spot that right now feels challenged, and I'd watch how when I breathe, just that little movement of breath that expands the whole body, just presses that area out a little bit. And then when I exhale and soften and let the air out of my body, how that spot too, it kind of settles in a little bit more. It gets smaller. And when it does that, it's not so tight anymore. You could use the sigh if you would like to here. See what you see on the other side of the sigh. And then come on up, sit on your left hip, swing your right leg around. We'll take a seated single leg extension. So you'll sit on both of your hips. You could be sitting up on a block. That's a pretty nice adjustment for a lot of bodies. Long right leg, bent left leg. If this knee is in the air, put a block under it. If this knee is in the air, put a block or a water bottle under it. And face your long leg and sit up tall. Set your gaze, like your toes are a good spot for that right now. Now listen how quiet the room got. Breathe. You hear that? Yeah. Bring your breathing again. It takes something at the end of the class to keep the breath. Now hinge forward and fold. Grab over for your pinky toe if you can reach there. It might be just your calf or even outside of your thigh. And hinge a little bit. You bring your chest, like where you feel like your heart is. So not your physical heart, like where we consider like our spiritual heart to be, that emotional heart, that where we would draw a Valentine in the center. Reach that towards your toes. Sometimes you have to use your imagination a little bit. Good. Deep breath in, use an exhale, and let's switch sides. Long left leg, bend your right leg. At first, you could be really aware of how the bottom of your leg, the back of it, feels a lot of stretch. But what I find interesting is how my back is in this pose. I like the experience of feeling myself breathing into my back ribs across the expanse of my lower back. And just using breathing, the sense of the filling and the softening to make more space in those parts of my body. I know I want to leave the practice with a lot of things. I definitely want to leave with the aches and pains handled in my body. I want to leave with that peaceful feeling that I hear people talking about from yoga class, and that's going to happen by setting the drishti, keeping the rhythmic breath. Come on up, 2 legs in front of you, seated forward fold. Still elevated hips, still softness under your knees, still a long spine, hinge forward. You'll want to just like collect your seat under you and behind you. There is always the spot where when we just unconsciously go into a new shape, we go. And then there's a different place, the place that we work with and choose. That's better placement right there on that foot. Feel the difference? Mm-hmm. Yep, Dinara, keep your feet active. Nice. Let's take this up here. You'll feel it differently. Mm-hmm. Peel your baby toes back. A deep breath in, a sigh, settle deeper. Stay there. One more breath in and out. Come on up, reverse tabletop. Lean back on your hands. So they go on the floor with your fingers facing your feet. That's the weird way, shoulders back. Then sink your hands into the ground and lift yourself up off of it. Breathe here. Hands sink down, chest lifts up. That's it. Hands down, chest up. One more time, and then sit your hips on the ground. Put your hands like a C shape around your hips and let your forearms rest on the mat. We're not going to be here really long, so we don't have to do a lot of stuff. Then press your hands into your hips so the sides of your body get really long. And once you have that, sink your elbows down into the mat so your chest starts to expand as you breathe. So what you create for yourself is that the whole of your torso is both long and then expanding in the chest as you breathe. Yep, elbows on the ground. The pose is called fish pose. That's it. Chest up, head back. Yes. One more breath here. Tuck your chin and roll down onto your flat back. Once you're on your flat back, you have a couple of choices. I'll give you a couple, and some of you know there are a million more, and you could take those. Flat back, maybe a long block. So in this long position under your pelvis, legs straight up in the air. That pose is called waterfall. A different choice is to roll your feet overhead to a pose called plow pose. If you get to the plow, you'll want to bend your elbows and bring your hands to your low back for some support. But for the waterfalls, the block under your hips, that can be pretty nice. Whichever pose you've chosen, take these first few breaths to just create it, to watch and listen for what's possible in your body and respond. Create something where you can breathe. That's an important part of it. Where you're able to set your drishti on just one point. Different from like locking into the stare, soften the gaze. Like hold it, but keep it soft. And as you create all that, you see your feet, you organize, choose how your feet are, how your pit of the belly is. While you're in the pose, let yourself settle into some kind of stillness. It's the good part. Bring these guys right there. Your breath might be a little bit softer than it was in some of the more active parts of the class. See if you can still distinguish an inhale, a pause, an exhale, and a pause. See if, you're welcome, you can still distinguish a quality of your breath being smooth, still deep, still consistent. Begin to bring yourself out of this pose, whatever it is. So if you're on your flat back, it's knees into your chest, remove the block. All the way onto your flat back, hug your knees into your chest. Can drop your knees to the left and look to the right. Once you get here, fill your body with breath and exhale. You might want to sigh even. When you do that, consider as you inhale, like you're gathering up all that you can find, all tension, things drawing your attention. Hold it, like really hold it, feel it. And then exhale and let it all go. Try that and inhale. Just notice, gather, be aware of everything. And exhale and let it all go. Come back to the center, hug your knees into your chest. Drop your knees to the other side. Let yourself just notice how it all is in your body right now, how it seems, how the parts feel. And not just your physicalness, but how it also seems in your emotional world. the place where your feelings are, how all of that is right now. And then take a breath in and just gather up everything that's pulling your attention. Gather it up, sigh, and let go. Then onto your flat back, we'll take Supta Baddha Konasana. So that's soles of your knees, feet together, knees open wide. Once you get into this position, organize your body, your bones, so that your hips, your ribs, your shoulders, your head, all supported by the floor. So do any rearranging you need to. Here in the studio, you have a cold eye towel near your head. You're welcome to use that. There are several props around the room. As we get ready to move to the next position, know that your task is to make it so your body's physically comfortable. So stretch your legs out long and wide. Arms maybe wide with your palms facing up. You might put blocks under your knees or a rolled up towel under your neck. Or maybe it's just good the way it is. Once you get settled here, take a full breath in. Close your eyes and exhale. Let go. And then do a scan through your body. And if there's anything else to rearrange or to let go of, do that now. This pose is deep rest. Let your breath soften. Let the pauses between the inhale and the exhale, you can let those go now. Soften into an everyday kind of breathing. An inhale that flows right into the exhale and then back. This everyday breath, it's been trained by your Ujjayi breath. You might notice it's still really smooth. It has a depth to it, a consistency. You might even notice a feeling of your whole body breathing. You might feel all of your skin swell and expand with each inhale and soften with each exhale. Let yourself experience breath. All of your attention on breath. While your attention's on breath, you'll still notice things, sounds, sensations. Even though those things are coming in and out of your awareness, can you still just consistently notice breath? You might even notice a feeling of the whole room breathing. Begin to deepen your breathing. Start to move your fingertips and your toes. Wiggle them, give them a squeeze. Bring your knees into your chest. Roll to your side and rest there. Once you get settled in a restful position, notice your breath. Once you feel tapped in again to your breath, you have a line on it, you can sense it, you're consistently aware of it. Then bring yourself up into a sitting position. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed, your drishti inward, and attention on your breathing. So get into a comfortable sitting position, whatever that looks like, and sit up tall through your spine. You can let your hands rest on your knees or wherever it feels comfortable. Eyes can be closed and listen to your breathing. Hear your breath move in and out of your body. Smooth, consistent, deep. Feel your whole body breathe in and out. Then bring your hands together, press them together at the center of your chest, hands in prayer position. 3 more times we'll chant Om. We'll create it as a sea of 3 Oms. Om as a breathing exercise to fill your body with breath and really smoothly press it out. The sounds go Om. Take a deep breath in. Blow all the air out. Inhale. Two more times. Deep breath in. Blow all the air out. Inhale. Last one. Take a deep breath in. Blow all the air out. Here it is. Inhale. Bring your thumb knuckles to the center of your forehead. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it all out. Namaste. Good work. Thank you all for being here. Such a pleasure to share the class with you together. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. I'll be here Tuesday and Thursday at 9:15. Otherwise, we have amazing teachers on the rest of the schedule. If you have questions about your practice or your practice here at Evolution, happy to answer those. And then raise your hands if you're in the Empower training this weekend. All these teachers are great teachers to ask questions of too. So if you have a question about your practice, these are your people. Have a great rest of the day. So all of the used straps and the towels, they go into the laundry bin at the desk. The yes, no tags go on the desk. Have a great day. If you're staying for restorative, everything goes out of the room and we mop it all up and clean it, and then things come back in.